The Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass. Where we make it happen, grab your seat, let's have a blast. At the Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast.
Hi, Paula, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey podcast. How are you?
Really good, Rebecca. Thank you for inviting me. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. Right, I have Paula Wingate with me together today. What do you do, Paula?
Couple of things, but mainly I help businesses grow to 7 figures plus, and I buy and sell businesses.
That's quite exciting and a little bit sexy, I have to say.
I love. Yeah, that's why I had on buying and selling businesses, but I also help professional footballers grow their businesses too. So that's also, I love that bit. That's really sexy as well.
Right, so there's lots of businesses there. Okay.
Yes.
How did you get into, well, let's talk about the footballers side. How did you get into that, first of all?
So I used to play football from age 9 years of age.
Right.
So I was playing football in the open age and then quit after when I was 30. I had a bit of a party and then I got back into football again. So basically when I was helping, one of my clients was the football manager of the St Mirren ladies, and we started working together, started collaborating, started passing her business, and she was like, "Why don't you just come in as a commercial director into St Mirren ladies?" And I was like, "Deal, let's do that." But then I started getting access to professional footballers in the Scottish Premiership and coaching them on mindset, and then I was like, how can we make these guys into an asset rather than, because most footballers are an asset to the club and not themselves.
Yeah.
And I was coaching two professional footballers and got really good deals on the contracts, and then started thinking about, when you retire, how do you transition out of football into normal life again? And it can be a big shock because they've had everything done for them. So we transitioned a guy that was 24 years of age. He was starting to build his wealth, thinking about what he could do for passive income, etc. And the other guy was 31, and we were talking about, right, how can you earn this amount of money without doing anything? Because professional footballers, they'll work between, say, 9:30 till 12:30 if there's no games, and then they'll have a couple of days rest. And then they have the games, and some times they'll play 2 lots of games in 90 minutes in a week. So that's 3 hours worth of work. So it's like, it's getting them to think entrepreneurial. How can they get this money rather than having to go and get a job?
Yeah.
That's how I started getting back into it, really.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. A lot of people don't realise how much time professional footballers have on their hands, do they?
No, and it's quite interesting because these two guys are under a lot of pressure with the fans and everyone around them and the expectations of these clubs. And they've only got 3 hours in a week to show everyone around them their true worth.
Yeah, that's hard. That's really, really hard.
Yeah. And you know what was really, really insightful? I've not met a professional footballer yet that actually warms up their mind before they play.
Really?
Yeah, not one footballer.
That really surprises me.
Why? Why does that surprise you?
Well, because sports psychology is a huge field, you'd have thought that warm-up would have, now in the 21st century, have involved warming up your mind as well as your body.
Yeah, no. And I'm talking about, even Man United lost their sports psychologist. They didn't have one for 20 years. They've only just got one back again.
Wow. I mean, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Your muscles follow muscle memory. The training does that. The rest is mental.
Yeah. And I was saying to these guys, what's your mindset rituals like before a match? And when I'm talking about before a match, I'm talking like if they're playing on a Wednesday, when are they warming this mind up on a Monday? How they're
Yeah.
doing it, how
Yeah.
they're consistently doing it. Now, these guys have got a natural high performance mindset because there's only like 2% of guys that are successful to be a Premiership footballer, right?
Yeah.
And they're not even warming their mind up. So I was like, oh, imagine what you'd be like if you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Oh my
Um,
God, they'd be so much better.
yeah. And just an example, I was working with the striker, and he hadn't scored for a couple of games, and I was like, what's your mindset for
Mm.
scoring? He says, well, if I score, I score. He was like, it was
No.
just, yeah. And it's just like, this is just chance. I'll score a score. And I says, well, Ronaldo sets a target one goal a game.
Yeah.
Where would you be if you scored one goal a game? And I got him thinking, visualizing what would his life be like, like how would he behave, what was his beliefs thinking like, what would the returns be? And he hadn't scored for a couple of games, and then I kid you not, within 50 seconds of the next game, he scores a goal.
I believe you because, and again, this really surprises me about football because there's so many studies and these studies are quite old about how the brain can't differentiate between thinking about running a race and actually running a race. So when they put the little nodes on to measure brain activity, the brain
Yeah,
can't tell the difference between imagining running that race and actually running that race. So you're right, visualizing scoring goals means the brain already thinks you've done it, which is the same as muscle memory in training. It's brain memory, if you like. And then the brain goes, well, of course I'm going to score a goal because I've already run through it in my head.
yeah,
Wow. God.
yes.
Right. Well, you've got a lot of work cut out then, haven't you?
Yeah, I was talking to an ex goalkeeper of a Premiership club last night, and he was saying it took him till he's 27 years of age to stop papping his pants before a game.
Right.
He was absolutely scared, and it took like he was nervous. He couldn't eat the pre-match meal.
Oh,
He was shaking. He couldn't even go out and see the crowds to
no.
warm up. He would just go in a shower and quiver until he went out. And
Oh
that
my
and
goodness.
it wasn't until somebody who was a mindset coach said something to him, just one little thing, and it clicked for him. At 27 years, I was like, "What have I got to be scared of? Like,
Yeah.
I'm out doing something that I love. I'm going to show everybody how good I am." So rather than being fearful, he was like, "Right, I'm going to show you." And it's just a shame. 27 years of age.
Right, there's no need for that length of suffering, is there?
Nah, not
Oh
at
my God. Right. Well, you get out there, you help those people feel better about themselves. And if you need an army of people to do that, I'm happy to volunteer as well because you know what I do. So, God, there's just no need for that level of anxiety and yeah. Okay, so that's
Yeah,
one bit of what you do. The other bit of what you do is helping people to get to a figure business. Now, am I right in thinking that's mainly coaches that you help to do that?
yeah.
Right.
So I help coaches. So a coaches coach. So I help coaches grow their business, their coaching biggest business to seven figures
Yeah.
through growing them
Yeah.
and then helping them with their coaching skills. And then at the same time, that helps them grow their business, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do help other business owners as well grow theirs. But it has to be a project that I'm excited about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If that
No,
makes
fair
sense.
enough. So what's the biggest obstacle to growth that you find coaches are experiencing?
That's a great question.
It's almost like I'm a coach.
Where would you got that from, by the way? Yeah, no, definitely the mindset. The biggest, I call it not enemy, but the biggest barrier is their mindset. And I'm finding it's really weird. I'm finding some coaches that think that they're doing really well, but they're showing narcissistic behavior.
Oh,
And I've been doing some research into it, and I'll probably tell you later from this, but it's quite eye opening how some coaches use their mindset skills to then use on people to create more fear, more anxiety, more stress.
Ooh.
And I want to be really open with this because I want this out. I want this driven out of coaching. Now, when I've been looking into it a little bit, apparently coaching does attract narcissists because some people think it's all about them and they're on the stage and they're out there showing it, and then behind the scenes they're doing little things like setting seeds in people's heads, and I'm like, I'm not having that.
Oh.
So I've set myself a little mission on helping everyone to grow their mindset, themselves as a person. What type of person do they need to be at a certain level of business? How do they think? How do they behave? What's the skill level's got to be like? What's the knowledge level's got to be like? And that's why I set up the coaches lounges, because I'm thinking, if you're a narcissist, you'll never know you're a narcissist. You just think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you actually see the toxicity of the behaviour, and we can then put it out there and let them decide how they behave, it might actually stop other people getting damaged, because with it not being what's it called, regulated.
Mm. Yeah. So that's really interesting you've said that. One of the criteria, because we train coaches and consultants,
Yes.
is that you right at the beginning we say to them, you have to leave your ego at the door, because, and I repeat it to them
Yes.
over and over and over again, it's not about you, it's about the client. You've not got a cape, and you do not have your underpants over your tights, okay? You're here to save nobody, because do you know what? They'll find a way on their own, whether it's a business or an individual. You're simply here to facilitate. I call it offering a set of keys, and the client will pick up the keys that are relevant to them, that unlocks their own potential. That is all you're doing. And the client always owns the success. The coach does not own the success.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. And yet, Paula, yet, I think there are some coaches out there who think they are superhuman, and they think the results are all down to them.
Yes.
And it's just not true, is it?
No, I was working with a guy years ago, really lovely guy, really spot on, knows his stuff. But it was one of those type of guys that brags about certain things, and you think, I can see insecurity right there, because why do you need to brag about that if you're that good? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're that good, people know about you automatically.
Yeah.
And he was helping me with coaching other business owners, and I'm very much of, let's recognize your clients, let's celebrate them, but celebrate them, not their result, it's nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
And he started taking ownership of it, and I'm like, oi, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I cut it straight out. I thought, no, you're not the one that's doing the tasks or the actions, or going through coming out the comfort zone, and maybe going through fear and anxiety to get those results. All their results are telling us is what we're doing is the right. It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If you need to celebrate it, then celebrate it with other coaches within a coaching safe room.
Yeah.
But don't put it out there. It's all down to you.
Yeah. Because it's just not.
No.
That's not true anyway.
Nah.
The client's done all the work, like you say. They've made the hard decisions. They've implemented them. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So going back to answering your question, mindset. Definitely mindset is a big thing. With most coaches are just recovering as well. Like they've gone through something and they're healing, and it could have been traumatic. And what I'm finding is they might be going through imposter syndrome, self-sabotage. My coach the other day says, that sounds like imposter syndrome, Paula, what I said. And I was like, yeah, it does, doesn't it? And I was like, where the hell has that come from, right? And I've been coaching for 25 years. I'm like, But when you go to different performance levels, I'm finding your mind has to perform at a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to feel a bit of imposter if you're jumping up another level.
Yeah.
So definitely mindset. And I would say to any coach, get a mindset person behind you. Get that person in your entourage to get the best performance from you.
Yeah, I agree. The way I get that is from our coaches, from our partners. It's really interesting
Yeah.
when we're working together, because we have a mastermind once a month. I get as much out of that as they get from it, and it keeps us all really grounded, really grounded, and it's so important. Plus, you've got kids, I've got kids. You can't really get an overinflated opinion of yourself when you've got kids.
You ain't got time to, have you, really?
No. Yours are younger, aren't they? I've got a teenager at home, a 14-year-old. She's like, Mum, you're boring. I'm not interested. Don't start with your inspirational speeches. I don't care.
Do you get, don't try and coach me, Mum?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't. Oh, that's your NLP voice. Stop using that.
They're quite sharp on how to disarm you, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So just when you've come back, you know, you'll be coming back from coaching some major footballer who's on mega books, and your kids will be going, yeah, whatever, Mum, you're really dull.
That's what I get, you know. Like I came in, I was missing for a week. I went like working out abroad and stuff. Came back and I'm thinking my daughter's going to be so excited. And I came in, and one daughter went, "This is a 3-year-old or teenager." And the other one, my favorite, she think I'm her favorite. If that makes sense, she goes,
Right.
"Hi," and that's my 1-year-old. And then that was it.
Nobody missed me?
No, I was thinking they were going to get that running up to the door, going, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, we've missed you," and then never parting from it. It was like, "Oh, you're here, are you then?" Okay,
Where's my Toblerone?
that's exactly.
You see, this is why I have 2 dogs, because they just are adoring no matter what. They love you to
Yes,
bits no matter what. You've got dogs as well, haven't you?
they're 2 cockapoos. They're the
Oh,
same.
yeah.
I cannot move away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the love. Give me the love. Right. So you get these people, you've adjusted and you have just started this coaching lounge. Tell me a little bit about that, because that's quite exciting.
Yeah. So for some reason, I've been drawn into this from the spirit world in terms of, I don't know, it's the journey I've been on, and I've been seeing how coaches are struggling to build and grow their business, struggling with the mindset, sales and marketing, even the legal stuff. So if we're running with our hearts of gold and we're helping people, and we've got someone as a client that's maybe threatening us in a way, whatever way, you know, legally, then we've got people there to go, "It's okay. It's all right, Rebecca. We
Right.
can help you with this," rather than going, "Oh shit, who do I speak to?"
Yeah.
Also coaching skills, which we'll talk about that with you going forward, if that
Oh, yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's just under one roof you can grow your business, but grow you as a person, and then that can help you grow your skills and then your business.
Yeah.
So that's why we've done it. I mean, it's like the whole vision of it is getting different level of coaches in there. So you've got your master coaches, you've got your coaches that know they're really good at what they do, just need a bit more learning. And then they've got the startups, if that makes sense, who just have no clue, bless them. And they just need that guidance rather than getting ripped off there and going on that course and doing this. Everything's every coach that comes in who takes the coaching lounge, so they're in charge of the coaching lounge. So just as a sales guy, he will go through so many checks to make sure he's credible,
Right.
trustworthy, and he knows exactly what he does and it works.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
If only you'd have existed back in 2009 when I started my coaching business. All those horrendous mistakes that I made could have been avoided.
I know. But look where you are now with those horrendous mistakes.
I know, I know, and a bit like doing it similar but different. We're taking them through a particular style of business coaching and consulting, and we just had, we put it all online last year. We just had our first lady qualify through the online program.
Yeah.
I know, I was so excited because it's like, "Oh, it works." And she, they have to do a case study and send me a presentation and a video. She absolutely nailed it. And I'm like,
Did she?
yeah, she really did. I was so pleased for her. So yeah, she starts as a partner on the 1st of March, which is dead exciting.
Are we able to name her? Is
Uh,
this a teaser bit?
Not yet, because
Ah,
I've said to her, I've said, "Look, we'll get all your profile on our website. We'll do all of that lovely stuff, and we'll get all you so you look and branded, and people know how to find you. We'll name names once we've set everything up."
yeah.
So yeah, so
Well, whoever it is, well done.
I know,
Congratulations and megatastic.
I know, it's really good. So you're like me, is that I think you get a kick out of seeing people do really, really well.
Yeah, big time. It's a drug. Yeah.
It really is. The happiest day of your week and my week is when somebody says, "I've won this client, I've done this, I've done that, I've reached this figure," whatever. And you're like, "That's bloody fantastic. Well done."
Yeah,
Yeah. So
definitely.
where do you think that comes from in you?
Oh, God knows. I have no clue. But I don't know because when I worked for the bank, you're in a system where it's toxic. Isn't that way? The
You worked in a bank?
Yeah, for 20 years. I
No.
know. Can you believe it? Me, I can't even use a calculator.
No, no, it's not that. It's like, how did you manage to mangle yourself into that shape that fitted for 20 years in a bank?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I worked at McDonald's and then got got into a bank, and I never thought I was good enough to be even in a bank.
No.
No, I never thought I was good enough. Managed to get in it, and then managed to be then one of the top performers in the bank. And I'm like, I've cheated somehow. And then I managed to then get a really top management position through, like growth. And I'm like, they're going to find me out sometime. And then I managed to coach all these managers and troubleshoot with them and then teach them how to performance manage because no one taught me. And I'm like, how can I be in a bank and no one teaches you how to performance
Yeah,
manage?
yeah.
And then the crash happened and they said, right, let's do an evaluation. And basically I was one of the top performing managers and they dropped me 3 role levels down. But
Right.
but common sense said the ones that are below me, let's promote them
Yeah,
without no training. And then Paula, can you actually coach them to be managers?
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, so you demoted me, but you've promoted these. They've got no training, they've got no experience, and you want me to coach them. Okay then. And I still went, okay
Yeah.
then. I did.
You're a better woman than I am. I wouldn't have. I'd be gone, "Yeah, you're all right."
Yeah. No, I was like, all right then, there's no problem. And then they said to me, after a couple of years, I've started really outgrown this role, really killing me. My soul was dying and it was just affecting my body. I was getting shingles after shingles. They must have thought I was just making it up. And then I just thought, let's try and get a promotion. Let's go back up to my old role level. Well, you can't jump that high. Well, you've demoted me. No, you can't jump that high, Paul. You've got to go through each role level. So
Oh,
you're having a laugh.
yeah,
So I thought, you know what, I'm sick of begging to work now
yeah.
for the bank. I've had enough. Common sense is not there. And I thought, let's do something exciting. Let's start my own business. So that's when I just got rid of the bank and started my own business.
Quite right too. It only surprises me that you were there for so long because you're so entrepreneurial in your thinking.
Yeah, I really boxed that in. Really boxed that in. So when I was the bank, can I be open and honest what I've done? Because
Yeah,
I've never told anybody this, right? So I really apologise if this offends anyone, if anybody's religious or so. I read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book when I was about maybe 30ish,
right.
And I was like, oh, see loads of money opportunities, right? So now I've got to now put this into place. So I goes and finds, by accident, a sex book.
Okay.
And I couldn't find this. It's like an 80s sex books for gay people, right? And I thought, oh, this is such a great stocking filler, right? And I couldn't find them anywhere. On Amazon, now this is back in 2009 or something, on
Right.
Amazon, couldn't find it. And I thought, oh, then I found it somewhere. And I thought, I'll buy 2 books and put one on Amazon. And it was like £12.99 and I put it for 20 quid. I kid you not, it sold within 2 minutes.
No.
Yeah. And I thought, oh, I'll see how many books these other companies got. So I got 10 books, bought them. That's all they had. Put them all on. And every book that sold, I put an extra £1 on.
Right.
Sold within the night. I couldn't believe it. It was sold. I was like, oh, that's never happened to me before. So I goes and hunts, right? I goes and hunts the publisher. And they said, Paula, it's the copyright's now been moved over to another publisher. But when it opens, you can have them, right? I was like, right, give me 5 boxes. Anyway, 2 months later, they give me these 5 boxes. And everybody's putting their books on. And I thought, I'll just leave them to put their books on. And then within 6 months, they're all sold out again. So I was like, let's put my books on. But I put it on for 50 quid, 55 quid, 60 quid, 70 quid, 100 quid. Sold. Yeah. I made a fortune through it. I've even kept one book just as a souvenir.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, 800 quid, it's on Amazon.
No.
Yeah, 800 quid.
What is so special about this book?
God knows, because it's not it's just, I'm not anything like into this type of thing, but sex sells, I'm selling it.
Bloody hell.
So then what does I go and do? So I'm buying all these lady sex books, I'm selling them on and making a fortune. And I thought, right, let's reinvest my money into vibrators.
I love this.
So again, right, I'm a Catholic girl. I've been brought up by nuns at a Catholic school. My mum would kill me. My dad would disown me. And I found this where you can set up a drop shipping company, right? So you can you don't have to put any money down. You can buy these goods, put it on your website and get them to send it all out. I didn't have to touch it. Anything. So I'm selling I'm thinking, Ann Summers are selling rabbit vibrators for £80. I can get them for £30. Selling for £60. It's a winner.
Job's a good one.
And then you've got the sex games. You've got there were just loads, right? And I was just thinking, wow, I can't believe I've just created this. And I'm at the bank and I'm taking in because I was I was a sales manager. I would take in extra stuff out my own money.
Right.
To give prizes. So no wonder they kicked me out, because they were like, Paula, why are you bringing in what's it called, lube? Why are you bringing in strawberry lube? I says it's just to make it different, exciting. And they're like, Paula, why have you brought that in? Well, just a bit unique. It's better than chocolate and wine.
I was going to say they got bored of Amazon vouchers. They just wanted lube.
Yes, yeah, so funny. It was just, I found that because the morale was really up. Like, I was the best manager at sales. I wondered why. Like, why was my team so good? Anyway, it got to a point where I got asked a really derogatory question, and it was something out of nothing. And it was like, I'm selling that. I've had enough. And that's where I sold my first business. I was like, I've had too much. It's done now.
Right.
And it was like, sold it for 6,000. And that's how I got through the bank.
Brilliant. I love that. I love the fact that you've shared that story, and I did not know that was coming. That's fantastic.
Yeah. If you do actually know me, right, I am frigid as a cup. Put it that way. I get embarrassed about anything like this. So it was like chalk and cheese.
That's hilarious. I love that. Absolutely love it. Right. Okay. So that's a great start. I don't think I've ever heard a coach have such an interesting origin story.
I know. Right. So yeah.
That's a first. Right. Okay. So you buy and sell other businesses. What kind of businesses do you buy and sell?
All different ones. So the biggest thing I do is help businesses get into a position to sell the business first of all, because I'm sick of seeing businesses, people that have struggled through the business, get to 60 and go, I want to sell it. And then they sat on this untouched fortune and they just didn't know how to grow it. And I'm like, so there's a company at the minute that I'm selling, and it's about 25 grand, right? They didn't even know it was worth anything. They were just going to get rid of it and just close it down. I'm like,
Yeah.
and it was just by accident. Their son-in-law says, can you just check this out? And I was like, well, to be fair, it's worth 25 grand, but it could be worth like multiple six figures if they
Yeah.
treated it like a business.
Yeah.
And they went, no, they just want to get rid of it. But they've got access to employees with KPMG, Barclays, JP Morgan, Virgin Money. They're working with high net individuals.
Wow.
And it's like, wow, this could have been made. So I'm helping them sell it, and we've got like loads and loads of people so interested in it. That was on sale since Tuesday, and that will be gone by next week, easy.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Yeah, then they just need to go through the legal process, which can take about 90 days, right? But
Yeah.
so that's what I do there. But I also then look at buying my own businesses and then flipping them.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting. I love that bit.
Yeah, that is very... No wonder you were up at 2 this morning and you didn't go back to bed.
I know. I get excited. I'm really like a weirdo. I'm like, what can I do? Oh, think about this. Let's do that. It's crazy. My brain does not switches off for 3 hours. And in that 3 hours, I'm meditating as well. I've put a meditation track on while I'm sleeping, so it kicks into the subconscious. And then by that, I'm like, ding, let's do stuff then, eh? Let's get on with stuff.
Okay, I can honestly say that has never happened to me.
Really?
It maybe dings. I can maybe sometimes sort of a 5:30, there's a ding that I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I meditate for a bit, and then I go back to sleep, and then I'll act on it. I definitely get excited about my day, but I need my 8 hours, Paula. I cannot function without 8 hours sleep.
Yeah. You know what? Because I've got kids, I wish I could say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally get it. But you're supposed to have 8 hours.
Right.
It's good for your body, your health, your mind, the way you see things in the world. So, have more. If you can recharge more, do it more as well.
Yeah, definitely. What do you do for downtime with 2 young kids? Quite hard, but what do you do?
Just put them in the cupboard and walk away. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I used to say, yeah, I've just left them at home with a box of matches and a DVD.
How did that go down?
People were like,
We're just buying a house at the minute, and the estate agent was taking us around this house, and she says, this is a cupboard, and I said, oh, that's perfect to lock the kids in, and kept a straight face, and she went, and you could just see she thought I was being serious. I went, I am joking.
what do you do for downtime?
So I'm quite lucky because I only work maybe three days a week, and more on the Mondays and Tuesdays I'll go to the sea, or I'll sit somewhere inspirational like Loch Lomond, and I do a lot of planning on myself. Like, where's my gaps? What can I do better? So I just like reflecting. Just love reflecting. I love being near water. I also love being near nature. So Mondays and Tuesdays I take myself off, and that's my recharge time. But that's because Saturdays and Sundays are just a nightmare with the girls, because we're either running about doing loads and loads of stuff, and it's just my way of getting ready for my Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursdays and Fridays.
Yeah, totally. Where are you taking the businesses? What's next?
That's a really good question. So with the Coaches Lounge, that is something that I really want to grow. I want to get to a minimum of 1,000 coaches in there to help them. And just imagine having 1,000 coaches helping each other.
Yeah.
That's the way I say it, a family. With the buying and selling, don't know where that's going, to be fair. I'm just taking it day by day. However, we're getting a lot of inquiries, and that's incredible. However, I've just identified something else which is going to go boom,
Ooh.
and I'm getting myself in there. And what I mean by that is being the prime position of helping other businesses get themselves in there, and that's helping women earn money or grow their business through other ladies' football clubs.
Oh, very good. Oh, very good.
Yes. So there's if you look at how the men's sponsorship and how the market's there, it's saturated.
Yeah.
And there's other companies that would love a refresh, like a family type of thing at the women's football.
Yeah.
And like, for example, the World Cup in 2019 was just one day was worth 1.21 million. No, yeah, 1.21 million, I think it was.
Wow.
Just in
Wow.
one day.
Wow.
So,
no, that's good. Our youngest daughter plays football, and she loves it. But the team is this is very off-piste, Paula.
yeah.
But the team that she was playing for just culled 8 girls from the training and the squad because they said they had too many. Now, some of these girls have been playing for
No.
this club since they were in P3, and they just went, "No, we need to get rid of some of you because this group is too big." So they just got rid of 8 of them. And we're
You're
like,
kidding.
hang on a minute. You're meant to be promoting and supporting women and girls football, and you've just told 8 14-year-old girls that they can no longer play.
That's horrendous.
Isn't it?
Can't really comment on it, but I would say I wouldn't like it. So you know the St Mirren ladies that we work with,
Yeah.
We are really, really committed in no matter who you are,
Yeah.
how many you've got. In fact, we would have taken them ladies on
Yeah.
to get them growing. Like
Yeah.
from 8 years of age, we've got a step by step, a structure, a framework to absolutely group these ladies and really get them through. Because there's also that gap, at that age gap where you get to 14, 15, the hormones kick in and they go boys football. We've even got a plan to help keep them, inspire them to stay,
Brilliant.
to get them to the open age. In
Well,
fact, we've just got we've just organised partnerships with a professional football club in America.
right.
So we do swaps.
Brilliant.
So if there's anybody out there, any girls out there that's getting treated like that, come to St Mirren Ladies. We would love to meet you.
Well, sadly, it's a bit too far. But yeah, if we can find something like that on the east coast of Scotland, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very saddened. Anyway, I digress. If your business, and let's just take Influential Minds as the main business, had a personality or a character, how would you describe it, Paula?
What? A personality or a character?
Yeah.
That's a bit posh, isn't it? Oh my God. I would say the posh part is a bit of a Ferrari. If I can use a car method, if that's all right.
Of course.
It's a bit of a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And the middle bit is, I would say, what's my favourite car? Just say it's a Range Rover. And then you've got where I started from, which is like a little 3-wheeler. And the reason being is, I don't care who you are, what you do, where you're from, as long as you're a good, nice soul, we will help anyone who's got the right commitment, the right drive, and the right want.
Brilliant. I love that. That's a great place to end. I wish you all the luck in the world, Paula. Not that you're going to need it. And thank you very much for today.
Anytime. Thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate it.
The Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass. Where we make it happen. Grab your